Hi, my name is Rob, and today I'm going to be teaching you the team word guessing game, Codenames. You and your team need to get your operatives in before an assassin strikes. Can you give very secretive, vague clues to your counterparts so that they get your fellow agents in time? Let's go down to the table and see how to play. Okay, I'm going to take you down to the game board. Apologies for any shaky camera work as I'm holding my phone here. Let me show you how to set up a game of Codenames, what comes in the box, and how to play. So the first thing you're going to see is a stack of cards with words on them. These are double-sided with different words on each side. Take your cards, shuffle them up, and put them into a 5x5 grid, 25 cards altogether. Also in the box, you're going to have a stack of cards that are cardboard. You have a blue stack and a red stack. These are the agent cards for each of the two teams. You'll also have one that is both red and blue. This is a double agent card, which I'll explain in a minute. You'll have some beige innocent bystander cards. They are not involved in this exercise, and you need to try to avoid them if you can. And finally, a black assassin card. He's a bad guy, stay away from him. You also have a stack of square colored cards that are gray on the back, but on the opposite side, it contains a key. This is the key, a map, if you will, to which cards on the board match which colors for the agents, the innocent bystanders, and the assassin. Then you have a small wooden easel to place that key on. So once you've set up your stack of 5x5 word clues, these represent code names of agents that are out in the field, and you are trying to get them home as soon as possible. It's a race. Whichever team can do it first wins. But watch out for the assassin, and watch out for clever clues. Once you've set up, pick two people to be the spy master for that round, one for each team, a red and a blue. They're going to sit on one side of the table away from the other players. Once they're there, take the easel, put it in front of you, and draw one of these key cards, placing it on top of the easel. Now, the configuration of the card doesn't matter. As long as once you've placed the card, you keep it where it is. This is a map of where your agents are, where the other team's agents are, the innocent bystanders, and the assassin. Also, around the outside of the key card, there are lights, either red or blue. In this case, it's blue. That means that the blue team has one extra agent. And for that, they are going to go first. So in this case, you're going to take this double agent card that is blue and red, keep it on the blue side, and put that on the blue team's stack. So one team will have 9 agents to guess, the other team 8. Okay? Here's an example of the red card. But in this case, this game, blue is going to go first. On the team's turn, the spy master is going to give out a one-word clue and a number. The number that they give matches the number of cards on the board that could be keyed to that clue. Okay? So for example, you can see that we have 4 blues here, a small cluster of blue here, and one at the top. The black X is the assassin card, which is, in this game, point. So no matter what, the clue I give should not have anything to do with point whatsoever, which can get tricky. But let's take a look and let's see what cards we can give, or what clues we can give. So I'm looking at my cards and I want to say, pool and duck. Perhaps I could use the word swim to refer to both of them. So let's say as the spy master, my clue will be a one word and a number. So I will tell them swim 2. So my field operatives are going to look at the board and discuss which possible words could fit with the word swim. Well, looking around, it looks like my spy master did a pretty good job, because the only 2 words I see that could apply to swim are pool and duck. So while we talk it over with one another, we'll come to a final decision. One person on the team then will make a guess. One at a time, you're going to guess one word. So we'll point to duck. If that is correct, the blue team's spy master will take one of their blue cards, and place it over the top of that word. That is one correct for our team, and we're one closer to getting all of our blue agents home. Now we have one other, he did say swim 2, so we have at least one more guess. Do we want to risk it, or do we want to stick with what we've got and end our turn? Well, I don't think there's any others that it could be for swim, so let's go with pool. So we'll point to pool. The blue Spy Master, yes, that is correct. Again, Spy Masters can give no facial expressions, no like, oh, you're close, or squinch their eyes or anything like that to give it away. They simply take the card and place it over the top. All right, so that's a very effective round for the blue team. So we move over to the red team. So we look at our map as the red Spy Master, and let's see, what could we get that would match some of these words? Okay. Well, I'm looking at it, and we have pumpkin here is one of our words, and we have band. Could I say something like smashing? We have Mercury is one of our words, and we have hood. We have fan. Those could have something all to do with cars, couldn't they? Ooh, 3, the number 3, that's a lot of cars. That's very difficult for them to get all of them. But it is a race, and we are behind. We're 2 behind right now, so let me give that clue. All right, so the red Spy Master says out loud, car 3. The red field agents look over and say, what words could go with car? Well, one of them speaks up right away and says, I think Mercury. Mercury's a type of car. That's pretty easy, right? Yeah, I think so. All right, we'll go with Mercury. Red team, red Spy Master says, good to go. All right, do we keep going? We have 2 more that they said we could do. What else could be for a car? Sometimes you take the car into the shop. Now looking as the red Spy Master, ooh, that's actually a word that is one of my agents, but I wasn't thinking about it. Well, if they guess it, great. Let's see, what else? Let's see, cars. If you take a car into the shop, the engine can go on a block. That's a possibility. Fan belt has a hood. Oh man, we have multiple choices, so now it's risky. But we're gonna try, we gotta keep going. So we're gonna say, I think the engine block, that's probably a really good idea. We'll say block, point to block. Unfortunately, that is a blue agent, and the blue Spy Master takes one of his cards and places it over the top. So not only is that one more agent for the blue team, but that ends the red team's turn. If you guess the opposite team's agent, it ends the turn. Also, if you guess an innocent bystander, it ends the turn. So if I were to guess Kiwi on that, that's an innocent bystander, that ends the turn. Goes without saying that guessing the assassin, point, ends the turn, but it not only ends the turn, it ends the game. So whenever you give a clue, you always want to look, before you give it out loud, you always want to look back at that assassin and make sure that nothing you say can point to that word. Point. Okay, so that's how the rounds work in a nutshell, but let me give you a couple more things. When I'm with the field operatives and I'm making a guess, I can always guess one more than the number that the Spy Master gave me. Now, why would I want to do that? Well, let's say, for example, in the previous round, remember we had car 3? Well, we only got one of those cards. So when I get back to red, maybe I want to go to a different set of clues. We'll go really simple. Let's go with shoot 1. Okay, so that means that it's pretty simple. Oh, I'm sorry, that's actually a blue card. Let me back up and give a red card. Lantern 1. Okay, well, jack-o'-lantern, pumpkin. Yeah, that's a good idea. So we'll point to pumpkin as the red team. The red spy master puts that card on, you're good. But now I can take one more guess. Well, remember the last round, we didn't get all the car ones we can, so let's try to get one more of those. I think hood was probably, we should have done hood. So we'll point to hood, and the red places their card on there. Good to go. So back and forth you will go until either one team gets all of their agents, until one team accidentally picks the last of the opposite team's agents, or one team guesses the assassin, which will end the game automatically. Now for the clues, the one-word clues you give, there are a couple of rules you have to follow. Every time you give the clue, it has to somehow be tied to a meaning from one of the words. For example, gland is not an appropriate clue for England, because gland and England aren't similar things. They just share the letters in common, which of course, by the way, you can't ever say a word that's on the board for a clue. You can't use a compound word that has one of the clues that's visible on the board. So I could never say mailbox as a clue. That is, until mail itself has been guessed and is covered up. Now I can say mailbox if I want. You can use letters and numbers. They're valid clues, but as long as they, again, refer to the meanings of the words. The number you say after your clue can't be used as a clue itself. So if one of the words on the board was octopus, and I said citrus, 8, and my teammates pointed to octopus because octopus have 8 legs, that's not an appropriate clue because that doesn't have anything to do with citrus. You have to use English words only, no foreign language, although it's great that we all speak foreign languages, but in this game we're going to be just using English. And then finally, again, you can't say any form of the word that's visible on the table. So I can never say pistol until pistol is covered up. Okay? That's basically how you play Codenames. So it gets into, it's kind of a game of not only a word guessing game and a clue game, but how clever can you be connecting words that on their face don't have anything in common. It's a game of chicken too, because again, each team could give simple clues with only one word attached to them. Back and forth you would go, but one team is definitely going to end up winning the game. It's like a game of tic-tac-toe. So you want to take some risks when you can. Be listening to the other team's clues, because even if they don't get the words, you might figure out what their clues mean and will stay away from those words. So like, for example, car, the red team gave the word car in 3. They only got 2 of them. We think fan is one of their words. So no matter what the red spy or the blue spy master does for us, we'll never point to fan until something obviously tells us how to do so. It's a lot of fun. It's a really good thinking game. Hope you have a great time.